Welcome to our second installment of our e-learning experience. So we're going to touch on lesson 8.1, which deals with radius and diameter. Okay, so that knowledge right there, that prior knowledge is going to help us when we talk about our second part of 8.1, which is circumference. So just to understand, radius is half of our diameter. Okay? Radius is a line segment that connects our center point of a circle to a point on the circle. Okay? So in this case, with example 1, this is my radius. A diameter, such as in example 2, is a line segment that connects 2 points on the circle, but it goes through the center point. Okay? So to find my diameter, if I'm given my radius, it's 2 times my radius. Okay, so there's just a little background knowledge as we get into finding these two numbers. So, number 1, my radius is given to me, it's 3 yards. My diameter is the distance clear across. Okay, so I need to take my radius and double it. Or take my radius times 2. So my diameter is 6 yards. Okay, pretty simple concept, I think. So in number 2, like we talked about, this is my diameter. It's my segment that goes clear across, and my diameter is 92 inches. So now I need to find my radius, which is half of that. So I need to take 92 divided by 2. So 92 divided by 2, 2 goes into 94 times. Subtract, I get a 1, bring down my 2, 2 goes into 12 6 times. Subtract, and I get 0. So my radius, half of my 92, is 46 inches. Okay? I'll go over to example 3. Again, that's my radius. It goes from the center point to a point on the circle, so that's 23 feet. So in order to find my diameter from that, I need to double it. I need to multiply it by 2. 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4, so my diameter is 46 feet. Again, understanding what they give us and how to find my diameter is going to help me with my second part, working with and finding circumference, okay? Which is what we're going to head into right now. Let me erase this. And here we go. So, now we're going to find the circumference of a circle. Circumference is the distance around the circle. Okay? So circumference is, if we think about a polygon, it's my perimeter. Okay? A polygon has flat sides, so we call it perimeter. Circumference is a circle or a round-sided figure, so it doesn't have perimeter, it has circumference. So, to find circumference, a couple things we need to know. Our formula is C, circumference, equals pi times diameter, and then we end it with whatever units we have. Now, a couple things we need to know for pi. Okay? Pi is approximately 3.14, or we can use the fraction 22/7. And as we go through our examples here, I'm going to explain how we know which one to use. Okay? So, here we go. Number 1. First thing we're going to do, we're going to write down our formula. C equals pi times diameter. Okay? Well, we've noticed on number 1 that they give me what? They give me my radius. So I need to figure out my diameter, which is just what we got done talking about. So if that's 6, that's the other half is 6. So my diameter is 12 inches. We're going to focus on using one formula and doing that well instead of worrying about a formula with radius. I think we can do well enough with understanding how to find diameter that we can just use one formula. So C equals, now here's how we know whether we're going to use 3.14 or 22/7. If my diameter is a multiple of 7, I'm going to use 22/7. Because when I use 22/7, I'm going to be able to cancel them out. I'm going to cancel out my numerator and denominator. If I can't cancel, then we're going to use 3.14. So, is 12 a multiple of 7? Does 7 times 10 give me 12? No. So that tells me I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. Times my diameter, which is 12. So C equals, now let's use our handy calculator. 3.14 times 12 equals 37.68. Now my units, inches, I probably should really put my inches up there to help me remind myself that I need a label in the end. So my answer is 37.68 inches. Okay? Number 2. Again, C equals pi times diameter. There's my formula. We're going to start every problem off like that with our formula. The more we write down, the easier it's going to be to memorize. So now they give me radius. So what? That's not good enough. I need to figure out my diameter. So if that's 2, the other side's 2. So we add them up, and we get 4 feet. Now, C equals, so now we need to figure out which number we're going to use for pi. Is 4 a multiple of 7? Does 7 times anything give me 4? No. So we're going to use 3.14 times 4 feet. There, remember my label. So now again, circumference equals, take a 3.14 times 4, and I get 12.56 feet. Okay? Always remember the label. Number 3, our last one. Again, we start off with a formula. C equals pi times diameter. C equals, now let's figure out my diameter. Again, they give me radius, it's the distance across. Now they throw a decimal in, so it's a little bit more involved. So 3.5 times 2, there's 10, carry your 1, there's 6 plus 1 is 7. Move your decimal 1 place, so we get 7 centimeters is my diameter. Okay? So now let's check to see which form of pi I'm going to use. So I have a 7. Is 7 a multiple of 7? Yes. So I'm going to use 22/7 as pi. Okay? So 22/7 times 7 centimeters. Now I'm going to put it over 1. I'm putting it over 1 to help balance my fraction, so I have a numerator and denominator. And this is exactly why we're going to use 22/7. C equals, notice my 7's cancel like I talked about earlier. We're always going to cancel when I use 22/7. If they don't cancel, then I'm going to use 3.14. Now, simple math. 22 times 1 is 22. Bring down our label. Centimeters. Alright, so you should notice some common points between examples 1, 2, and 3. They all gave me my radius, so I had to double it in order to get my diameter. Okay? So, let me erase this and we'll get into 3 more examples. Now remember, as you work through these, if you have questions, you can email me anytime and I'll get back to you by email. Remember, these are due, your assignment's due Monday by the end of the day. So here we go. Nothing changes except we need to understand what they give me. What parts of the circle do they give me? So we start off, C equals pi times diameter, our formula. Notice now they give me my diameter. So C equals, so let's check what form of pi am I going to use. Just 7 times anything, give me 20. Is 20 a multiple of 7? You're right. No, it's not. So I use 3.14 times my diameter of 20 feet. So my circumference equals, again, we can use our calculator, 3.14 times 20, and I get 62.8 feet. Okay? Number 5. C equals pi times diameter. Circumference equals, now let's look at our diameter to determine what form of pi I'm going to use. Is 14 a multiple of 7? Yes. 7 times 2 is 14, so I'm going to use 22/7 as my form for pi. Times 14 millimeters over 1. Again, I'm always going to balance my fraction with, or by putting a 1 underneath it. Okay? So now, when I use 22/7, we're always going to cancel. So I'm going to cancel out my 7. 7 goes in 7 once. 7 goes into 14 twice. Now circumference equals 22 times 2, which is 44. Label millimeters. And one more example. Number 6. So now, formula, circumference equals pi times diameter. Circumference equals, so let's check our form for pi. Is 1 a multiple of 7? No. So I'm going to use 3.14. So 3.14 times 1 inch. Pretty simple math here. C equals 3.14 inches. Okay, so there is our last example. Now, notice on all of these, they gave me my diameter. Therefore, I didn't have to do any work finding my diameter. So, key points. 1, understand what they give us. Okay, are they giving us radius or are they giving us diameter? If they give me radius, we need to double it to get diameter. So, we'll always start with our formula, determine what they give me, and then we need to determine, are they giving me a number that's a multiple of 7? If it is, I'm going to use 22/7. If it's not, I'm going to use 3.14. Okay? And again, we can use our calculators for these in order to find our answers. Okay? But make sure we show our work. Formula, substitution, final answer with a label. Nothing different than what we've done all year so far. Again, if you have any questions, you need to make sure that you email me those questions, and I'll get back to you as soon as I get them, and good luck on your assignment.